everybody, and welcome to brand new 2020 Chat Show, a show for small business owners and creative entrepreneurs to help you build your brand, boost your business, and grow your audience. I'm Olivia, your personal branding photographer from Shoot and Share.
Hi, and I'm Tam, your brand designer. Joining us on the show today is Andy Wood from Pulse8, and we're going to be discussing how you can boost your brand with video and podcast. Hi, Andy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tam. Hi, Olivia. Thank you for having me today. Absolute pleasure to be here.
So, Andy, how did you get into videography? What drove you to create Pulse8? And can you talk us through the services you provide?
Right, okay. I'll try and sum it up in some sort of order. So Pulse8 was formed 10 years ago now as a graphic design studio. And that's where we started. And it was about 4 years ago, I saw the emergence of the drone industry, which led me to go and get a commercial license. And from there, it was quite organic how we got into videography. It was from that point of filming with drones, then being asked to do sort of like introduction videos and such things like that. And then that's how the video side of the business started to build from that side of things. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to be a great show today, Andy, because there's never been a better time than right now, I think, for business owners to start being a bit more creative in the way that they communicate. And obviously video can really help boost that, the reach for new audiences. So how important is it today to use video in your marketing mix?
I thoroughly believe it's as important as having a website. When people started having websites, basically, it was a needs must. And I believe video is exactly the same because it just drives so much more engagement on a site. This is where we started off with videos, to put on your website, and then rather than the viewer reading the web page, they can watch a video and they can get to know you. It's immensely important. There's been so many conversion rates, and it's a way of somebody really getting to know the business and the person behind the business. So I would say you've got to have a website, and you definitely got to have a video on your website. And the introduction video is a must these days.
So I've got a few marketing statistics relating to video for 2020, which we thought were really interesting. I'm going to read them because otherwise I'm going to get tongue-tied. So here we go. 85% of internet users everywhere enjoy video content. 84% of people have been convinced to buy a product or service by watching a brand's video. 88% of marketers are satisfied with the ROI of their video marketing efforts on social media. 82% of the global internet traffic will come from video streaming and downloads in 2022. 70% of all YouTube video consumption is via mobile devices. That's quite some statistics. What kind of consequence will your business suffer if you ignore the power of video in your business marketing, Andy?
So I would say, if you take a direct comparison, let's take a industry for example. Let's take the hypnotherapy industry. You got one website. I'm just going to talk about videos on websites on this segment because you obviously social media and so forth. But you take one website. A hypnotherapist does not have an introduction video on that website. The other website has an introduction from a hypnotherapist. She or he is speaking directly to the person visiting. Now, with hypnotherapy, it's a very personal service, and you want to engage with that person. So I would definitely say the person who has a video on their website explaining their service, you get to know their personality, you get to feel comfortable with them through video, compared to the one who hasn't got a video. I know which one I would choose.
Yeah.
I would go to the person who's actually directly talking to me, the one who's making me feel comfortable about going to their services and helping with any sort of issue I may have. So I would say if your competitors are not using video, you get onto it straight away. It will give you a massive advantage. Yeah. So I hope that helps clear up that sort of like answer.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm, from branding, it's very important for me to make sure that the personality of the business owner comes through. And I think video is such a great way to be able to do that.
Absolutely. The personality. For example, right now we're talking about video and we're recording this chat show at the moment, and the three of us, our personalities will come across on video. There's always going to be slight nerves, but those relax after a while. But I absolutely agree with you, Tam. Personality, you can only go a certain length through your actual brand, your website, your social media, and so forth. So video is just going to just up that level.
Yeah. And I guess another consequences of not using video is that you're missing out on reaching on a wider audience as well. And like you said, people might just not stop on your website and go somewhere else. So I guess another important use of video is to present you as the go-to expert. Would you agree, Andy?
Oh, absolutely. Moving on from sort of like I'm getting a bit tongue-tied here. So with majority of my clients, when they come to me for videos, I always say you have to have an introduction video, introduce who you are, what your business is. But there's an opportunity to really show your expertise through, that could be through, you know, advice, tips and tricks, some sort of like giveaways to your audience to show that you are the expert, you're the right person to go to. And through video, you can explain that a lot better than you can simply in words. So yeah, definitely.
So with the rise in video marketing, consumers are turning to brands that provide authentic, interesting and useful information. This is excellent news for some small businesses to raise their personal brand awareness and develop loyal brand followers. What kind of videos have you been asked to make for clients to help them raise their brand awareness?
Okay, yeah, but that's a really good question, Tam. So I was approached by Chef Gary, who's part of a networking group I go to, which we're members of. And in order to show his personality and his expertise, he wanted a series of how-to videos, simple how-to videos. For example, how to cook the perfect poached egg, how to make pancakes and such like. And this is just sort of like short videos in which people could play, but get to know Chef Gary behind the work. So what Chef Gary offers is he offers, he's a chef which will come to your house and cook gourmet food in your house for a party. And this is one string of his business, but he wanted to push his presence more out on social media, on his website, through blog posts, through doing a series of how-to videos. So he's really embraced videos. He was, like most people, are very nervous when they come to do any sort of videos, but through sort of our direction and having a bit of a joke and relaxing, and when somebody's really engaged with what they love doing, their personality really comes through. It looks absolutely brilliant. So
yeah, and he's
been a great example.
I've seen those videos of Chef Gary there. You did a really good job there. So yeah, no, they're great.
Thank you.
So obviously, whether you're doing a 2-minute sort of ad clip or, you know, longer hour video, how important is storytelling? I mean, you need to get the frames and to tell the story of your client. So how closely do you work with your client on the storytelling when preparing a video for them?
So extremely close. We work with them. I will not engage with a client unless there's a clear sort of structure to the story. I mean, the classic is a start, middle and end, but you've got to have a call to action. You've got to always think about, why is somebody watching this video? What are they going to get out of it? There's one thing to explain your expertise, but people don't want to see somebody just talk about themselves all the time, talk about how wonderful they are. You need to, like any sort of marketing, video is just another platform where you can engage. But the storytelling, going back to your original question, storytelling is so important. You've got to have that emotional response. You've got to feel empathy. You've got to feel engaged. You've got to feel excited more than anything. You've got to be, you're watching, I don't know, let's take another industry. Let's take business networking. If somebody's talking about how exciting their business networking is, and they're just sat there quite glum talking about it to camera, you're not going to be very, you're not going to want to go along. But if they say how exciting it is, how are you going to meet all these lovely people? It's the whole package. The storytelling is extremely important, and I always make sure that when somebody engages with services, number one thing is ask, why do you want a video?
Yeah.
If they say they want a video simply because, oh, it's because everybody's doing it, no, we need to get to the crux of why do you need it, what you're missing out on, and then tell that story and get that personality across.
Yeah,
and you can lead by your energy in a video as well. Like, just like you were saying, if you're energetic and you're passionate about what you're talking about on video, the viewer is going to feel that that energy through that video, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things when I was working with Chef Gary on his videos, we did the first video, and it's like very quite methodical. This is how you cook a perfect steak. And at the end of it, and I said, the viewer wants to taste that steak. So you're going to take a bite of that steak and eat it and look to the camera, look at the lens, and that will finish the engagement from the person watching. They think, you know what, I'm going to go and cook myself a steak now, because when Chef Gary, you know, ate that steak, it looked delicious. So that's the real engagement. I want a steak now.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. But I mean, you know, if I just jumping in there, if I'm going to do a video to promote my business, and I'm just going to write a bit of the script and storytelling and give it to you, how difficult it is for you to then sort of visualize it? Do you then sometimes have to go back to the script of your client to say, okay, well, that's not quite going to work visually. Maybe we need to sort of change the frame or change. Does that happen? Or
yes, so there's different levels of engagement we have with clients. So some clients will come to us with a very clear idea of exactly what they want. They've even come up with their own script, and then it's down to us to help guide them to the best way of showing this, whether it's talking directly to the camera or a voiceover with them actually engaging with their ideal client. So I won't sit back and just go, yeah, I'm going to do exactly what he says, because then I'll just become an operator, a camera operator, and we're all about directing the business. Obviously, budgets will always come into play. You can't have a Spielberg video every single time, but we can try our best to get to that. The other thing we do as well, if a client will come to us and they haven't an idea, they don't have a marketing background, they know that they need to put their business out there, they want an introduction video. So I will work with script writers. I've got a fantastic script writer who works with me, and she comes up with some fantastic, real grabbing type words, which words isn't my thing. So we work with a script writer who comes in, helps with the writing. And if, for example, a client feels like they're going to be great on camera, and I've seen this, they think, yeah, well, I'll be on camera. And then you press the record button, you're like, oh, I need to cheer them up behind the scene, like, you know, jump around and things like that. So it sounds ridiculous, but everybody gets nervous in front of the camera. So with the script writing, it's something in which we work with the client to what makes them feel comfortable. We will never force anything on them, because the minute you try and force like a certain way of doing something, they will not shine on camera.
And I can really relate to that as a photographer. You know, clients, like my wedding clients, for example, you know, they all think they're going to be great, and then the minute they get onto the camera, they get shy, they don't know how to behave. So I can understand that. Yeah. Well,
absolutely. People, you get very conscious. So majority of the time when I'm working with clients, a bit like what we've done in this video, you press the record button, then you chat about you relax them in the best way you possibly can to bring out the best. As you said, Olivia, being a photographer, you fully understand this as well.
Yeah.
So Andy, with the rise of social media, video marketing is far more accessible to everyone now. Most people can now make a video using their smartphone, free editing software, and create their own content. Do you see this as a threat to the future of professional videography? How can professional videographers adapt to this change?
That's a very good question, Tam. And it's something on which, being from a design background, I've been in the graphic, so my history is, I've been a graphic designer for 20 years, and I build websites, logos and such like. And I've seen throughout this time, with obviously online services, somebody can build their own website. Somebody can go to fiverr.com, I believe, and ask for a logo for a Fiverr. With any emerging technology, there's always some sort of threat, but it's how you adapt to this. So, for example, your question there is, everybody's got a mobile phone, everybody's got a camera on it, everybody can shoot a film. But what people can't do, or some people can do very well. I don't want to offend anybody right here, but you need the direction, you need the artistic ability behind that to make it good. You know, you could shoot a film, an introduction film with your smartphone, but then it's the editing part. Yes, there's free software out there, but can it do what you need it to do? Overlay music, text, graphics, animations, and things like that. This is where it gets quite complicated. And this is where we have a particular service on the smartphone where we can just edit people's footage, but we guide them to the best way of capturing that footage. So I always, through my experience over the years as a designer, I want to adapt the business as we move forward. Olivia will find the same with photography.
Yes.
You got a phone, everybody thinks they're suddenly a photographer. And yes, you can do some amazing things on the camera, but you will never get past that level where you need a creative input, an eye for detail. So
yeah, I totally agree. When the smartphone came out, you know, it was a photographer's nightmare, going, oh my God, you know, when I do a wedding and there's 150 guests with their mobile phones and their tablets in my way, it's a bit of a nightmare, but you can never, you know, you will never be able to replace the professionalism of a videographer or photographer, their eye, their attention to detail, the equipment, and the professionalism. Okay, so let's have a look at video content for social media. I mean, today, every single platform is allowing us to use media, and in fact, they actually encourage it. So, Andy, do you have any tips, you know, quick bite tips of how can we maximize the videos that we might take with our little phones and to put on our social media?
Okay, this is a really good question. There's lots of things I could probably talk for a good hour on this particular subject. But I would say, from a technical aspect, I think if you're planning to record video blog styles with your phone and put onto Instagram or Facebook or even LinkedIn, always make sure that the audio is clear. Make sure that the audience will be able to hear what you're saying. Now, phones are very good at picking up the voice on the direction, but sometimes what I suggest, if you can afford it, you know, like a lav mic to go with your phone. So that's one of the tips, to make sure your audio is very clear, because if the audio is not clear, doesn't matter how great the picture is, you're not going to engage with the audience watching you on social media. The other thing as well to be aware of is lights, what's behind you, what's going on, making sure that people aren't distracted from what your message is. I'm specifically talking about video blog styles, not like some sort of Spielberg masterpiece with your phone, because this is a type of thing in which people can easily put out onto social media. And I would say one of the final things is the length of the video. So on Instagram, it's 1 minute unless you use Instagram stories. I can't remember what it's called now.
IGTV, no?
IGTV, thank you, Olivia. IGTV, yes, which goes on. But I would say because what I call the scrolling effect, you want them to stop. You want them to stop on your video and watch it, because immediately it shows you the time. So if it's 30 seconds, somebody will stop and probably watch you for 30 seconds. So you've got to be quite quick and to the point of what your video is about. That's across the board on social media, because our attention spans is very short, unless it's something absolutely amazing. You think, of what's going on here, and you constantly engage. But I would say definitely make sure you can be heard. Make sure there's no distractions behind you going around, which takes away from what your video is. And to be to the point more than anything on social media.
You're talking about scrolling. I'm going to jump in there. I overheard a conversation yesterday about the average user scrolls apparently the length of the Statue of Liberty every day through Facebook.
Wow.
So, you've really got to catch them quickly if they're scrolling that amount of time. So, interesting fact.
Well, recently what I've done is you want to try and do something quite impactful in the first 2 or 3 seconds on a video. For example, on my videos, which I've put out onto LinkedIn recently, I will do something strange or funny at the start. Like the last video I put out, I put a sort of like a distorted graphic, made it look like the camera wasn't working, and I had to knock the camera, and that stops people. And I notice if you can do something in the first 3 seconds, whether it's, I don't know, maybe a silly face or something like that, people will start thinking, what's going on here? And then they will engage and watch your video.
So you've done your own series of how to vlog videos, which we can see on your LinkedIn page and your YouTube channel. For any business owners wanting to start their own vlog, what kind of equipment do they need to start that? Do they need to invest in a lot of money to start blogging?
I definitely would say they don't need to invest in a lot of money. So to give you an example, the first point is to level up your audio on your mic on your phones, and that is through a lavalier microphone. And you can pick one of those up for £15 on Amazon, and that will immediately put you above the rest.
Okay.
And then you could spend as little as £50–60 on a light just to highlight your face, your eyes. So it's not expensive if you want to level up. And as you said, I have a series on LinkedIn and on YouTube where each video talks about different aspects of filming with your smartphone. And there's 18 episodes there of quite juicy information.
Yeah, they're good. I've been watching them. There's a lot of information in there that you give out, so good.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about podcasting, because that's obviously, I mean, it's been around for quite a while, but it's now, I think, getting more and more popular. And I've got another stat to give you, which I thought that was quite interesting as well. 7.1 billion of UK podcast listeners, and that's a lot of people. So it's definitely another great way to kind of, widen your reach for new audiences. I mean, it's fairly simple to start a podcast. Maybe you can just get yourself a microphone and an editing software. But what would be the advantage of calling Pulse8 to help me create my podcast?
This is one of my favorite questions, and it applies across web design and normal videography as well. So yes, as you said, podcasts have been around for quite a while now, well over a decade on the audio front. The difference between using us and recording on your phone, yes, you can just get a microphone, but you can just literally record straight to your phone and upload straight away. You don't need to do any sort of editing. You can do it all for free. So the question is, why would somebody pay us to produce it? And it comes back to what we talked about earlier on, is creative direction and help. So a lot of businesses and a lot of clients who I have, it's all about time, saving time and having that help in hand. For instance, I'll give an example. We won a new client recently who wanted video podcasts. And this is where we're pushing it, because why record just the audio when you can set up some cameras and capture a whole different market on YouTube and put videos out there as well? And they came to us knowing full well they could do it themselves, but they just wanted to turn up at the studio while I go to them, sit down, the mic's set up, and I give them the direction. We do all the technical stuff. We enhance the audio, we will edit it for them, so they don't have to. But what our clients get out of our service is the support, the feedback, the slight critique on how close their mouth is to the microphone, all these sort of things to really level up to a professional output for them.
So where does Pulse8 hang out on social media? Where can people find out more?
Well, generally, I hang out on, it sounds very strange to hang out in the digital world, but I hang out on LinkedIn. This is where I will post majority of sort of like my tips and tricks on videos, behind the scenes on what we're doing at Pulse8, what the future of Pulse8 looks like. So LinkedIn is the main place. Personally, I am on Instagram as well, which gives me a bit more of I use Instagram to show my personality more. LinkedIn is more sort of like related to businesses, and it's where my clients hang out. So if anybody does want to come and have a chat, then connect with me on LinkedIn.
Okay, so video is one of the most popular content at the moment, and it's definitely not going to go anywhere soon. Not only video is fun, but it's a great way to reach your clients, reach a new audience, show them about who you are, show them the background of your business, and just give them a good glimpse of what your business is all about. Thanks, Andy. You've been an amazing guest. Really, really lovely to have you and to talk all about video, because I love it. I'm being a photographer. I love anything to do with images. So it's been great having you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Olivia. It's been absolutely brilliant to come on this chat show. And you've done a fantastic job. Brilliant. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy. So to our viewers, make sure you join us next Monday as we welcome Benjamin Drury, aka the Culture Guy, who will be talking to us about defining our purpose, our values, our culture.
Yes, and of course, make sure you keep following us. get onto our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and come and join us on our Facebook. We've got lots of interesting things coming up on the Facebook group coming very shortly. So please make sure you join us there.
That's it. Don't forget, be visible. Bye for now.
Bye.